Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to discuss the lesson Nationalism and Interview. Uh, this lesson is an interview between Bertrand Russell and Woodrow Watt. Now, Bertrand Russell was one of the foremost British thinkers during the last century, and his ideas on nationalism, uh, his ideas of nationalism is discussed in this interview. Now, this was an interview conducted by a British television, and nationalism. Uh, he Bertrand Russell discusses his ideas of nationalism, what kind of nationalism should be there. Now, there is no one definition of nationalism. There are different uh, people have different interpreted nationalism in different way. There are different forms. In this interview, uh, Bertrand Russell discusses about various forms of nationalism. He talks about communism, socialism, capitalism. Now, these are the things which have influenced the history a lot, especially if you look at the last century and even today. The two forms of ideology, one is capitalism and socialism, have shaped many events in the history. For example, after the First World War and Second World War, there was a Cold War between America and USSR. Today it is Russia. Um, the reason for Cold War was the ideological battle. America and the West stood for capitalism, whereas Russia and communist China, and there were many Cuba, these countries stood for communism. Now, this was the battle of two ideologies. Now, is communism really bad? What are the pros and cons of nationalism? Are the other things that are discussed in this interview. Now, before going forward, let's discuss about the author. Bertrand author William Russell, born in 1877 and he died in 1970. He was a British mathematician, philosopher, logician, um, historian, essayist, social critic, political activist, and Nobel laureate. He had strong scientific temper, which did not allow him to accept anything without examination. He considered himself a liberal socialist and a pacifist. Nationalism and Interview is one of the excerpts of interviews of Bertrand Russell conducted by Woodrow Watt for British television in 1959. The discussion covers the nature and purpose of philosophy, religion, war and pacifism, communism and capitalism, ethics and morality, personal and economic power, happiness, nationalism, individualism, fanatism, tolerance. Now, these are the wide range of issues that are covered in the interview. Now, let's see one by one. The full name of Bertrand Russell is Bertrand Arthur William Russell. He was born in 1877. He was a British national, and he was a foremost thinker of the last century, and he has influenced many people. In fact, he has influenced a generation, and he continues to influence even now. He was a mathematician. He was a philosopher. He was a logician. Logician means one who studies logic. He was a historian, essayist, social critic, political activist, as well as he has won a Nobel Prize. One thing that stands out about Bertrand Russell is that he had a very strong scientific temper. He would not accept anything without proper examination. So obviously he was a logician who believed in logic. He did not believe anything he did not blindly believe anything. Now, one of the problems, now why this particular interview is included in your text is that today there is a wave of nationalism that is sweeping across not just India but around the world. Now, the kind of politics that today is practiced is that making emotional appeals rather than applying logic. No, people, the way the politics today is conducted, especially if you look at the political parties today, the world has moved towards the right. Right-wing politics is dominating the world, and one thing that we see in common in every country is that people are not believing the truth. People are making appeals to the emotion, not to the logic. The political leaders want us to think from our, they don't want us to use our brain. Now, that is the problem that we are seeing throughout the world. Now, because of that, that is the reason why it is said that today we are living in post-truth world. Post-truth world means we have entered a phase we do not believe the truth. We would rather believe anything that makes us emotional. Now, that is the reason we have seen so much of violence in the name of divisive things like um, religion, caste, um, ethnic racism. Now, these are the issues around which a lot of violence is happening around the world. For example, one good example of today's post-truth world is how, because of WhatsApp forwards, there have been so many lynchings. Now, this kind of appeal to emotion has been very successful. Has been very successfully carried out. Now, that kind of mindset has to be challenged. So this particular essay is of great. This particular interview is of great importance. So he believed in a strong scientific temper, and he considered himself as a socialist. One socialist is a person who believes in socialism, um, and a pacifist. Pacifist is a person who believes that war and violence are not necessary. They are unjustifiable, and whatever the differences we have to be settled by peaceful means. So that kind of a person is called pacifist. Now remember, this interview was, see, the time period in which Bertrand Russell lived, 1877 to 1970. So during his lifetime, he had witnessed two world wars, and he was aware of he had seen the destruction caused by World War One and World War Two. Now that is the reason why he had become pacifist. Because if you think logically, there is no reason why we should indulge in killing to prove ourselves superior or to settle scores. Now, this interview, Nationalism, is one of the excerpts of interviews of Bertrand Russell. Now, this was an interview uh, which was for British television, and the interviewer is Woodrow Watt. And this interview, this discussion, covers a wide range of issues, right from philosophy, religion, war, pacifism. That is whether pacifism is I have already told, right. There is no reason that we should engage in war. Whatever the disputes are there, they can be settled through peaceful means. Communism and capitalism, as I've already mentioned, these are the ideas which have shaped previous century, and even they continue to do so even now. And ethics and morality, personal and economic power, happiness, what is nationalism, individualism, fanatism, tolerance. Now these are the wide range of issues that are discussed in this interview. Now before going forward, let's see the three brainstorming questions. The first question is, indeed great people need no introduction, but it is our duty to introduce them to the younger generation. Second is, if you have heard or watched any interview of great people on radio or TV, share your experience with the class. Third one is, assuming you are a celebrity invited for a TV interview, what topic would you like to speak? Now, these are the three questions. Now, this lesson, they have included this lesson because also you should know how to communicate. In interview, your personal, so even you have to face interview. So you should know how to face an interview. And also The first question is indeed, great people need no introduction, but it is our duty to introduce them to the younger generation. Now, Bertrand Russell is one of the great thinkers. So uh, the syllabus setters, they are introducing you to the ideas of nationalism of Bertrand Russell. Now, along though Bertrand Russell is of British origin, but you also need to understand, uh, being Indians, you need to understand the different ideas of nationalism that are of from Indian thinkers. For example, you should be aware of the ideas of nationalism of Gandhi. You should be you should be aware of the ideas of nationalism of Rabindranath Tagore, of B.R. Ambedkar, because there are many views of Indian thinkers. You should be aware of them rather than what is being served in the media or whatever the political propaganda goes on. Rather than falling for them, read. One thing that I want you all to remember, you all to do very religiously, is that stop believing in WhatsApp forwards. Start reading the books. Start reading the great authors. Stop believing in WhatsApp forwards and the propaganda that goes on, so not just WhatsApp but other social media as well. uh, s- the second one is, if you have heard or watched any interview of great people on radio or TV, share your experience with the class. Now, this is an activity which you have to do. Also, assuming you are a celebrity invited for a TV interview, what topic would you like to speak? Again, this is for you to. This is an activity for you to do. Now, before discussing the lesson, let me just show you one clip of one video clip of Bertrand Russell, the interview clip of Bertrand. I'll show you the interview clip of Bertrand Russell.
Controversial people would say nonsense. And you would be that philosophy consists of speculation about matters that exact knowledge is not possible. I am somebody else. What the change that and I don't have nothing to say. Science is what we know, just is what we don't know. That's a simple definition. And you have reason.
Now, this is a small video clip which you saw now. Now, this is the interview which was conducted by the British TV. The interviewer is Woodrow Watt, and he is interviewing Bertrand Russell. Now, one of this particular interview which you have is an extract from this interview. But this I tried to find the video clip of nationalism, but I could not find. But I've just shown you a video in which Bertrand Russell is speaking about philosophy. Now, one of the main concerns of this one of the main concerns of this uh, one of the main concerns of this interview is nationalism. And nationalism, as I've already told you, the wave of nationalism is sweeping throughout the world, not just in India. Increasingly, we are talking about there is a debate about nationals and anti-nationals. Um, but the thing is, nationalism as a modern concept is of very recent origin. It is only it may this idea mainly originated in England, but the origins of the modern concept of nationalism is quite troublesome. Again, as I've told earlier, there are different forms of nationalism. There is no one particular definition of nationalism, but the modern concept is mainly derived from what derived from 18th and 19th century Europe, especially England. This kind of nationalism was mainly based on the one which the form of nationalism which was born in England was which was based on hatredness. Now, a, uh, a Britisher was considered as a true Britisher only if he hated French. That is, France is the neighboring country of Britain. Now, this kind of nationalism is taking place. Now, our definition of nationalism should not be a narrow one, where in order to prove yourself a nationalist, you don't have to hate people or citizens of other countries. Now, that kind of nationalism is gaining a lot of currency. Now, that should trouble us a lot. In order to be Indian, you need not have to hate the citizens of China or Pakistan. Now, this kind of hate mongering is going on. Now, that is troubling. There is no wrong in, there is absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, we should all be very proud of our country. We should there should be very healthy relations with the neighboring countries. There should be competitiveness, no doubt, but it should not turn ugly as it is, as today it is happening, around the world. Again, the wave of nationalism is turning towards the ugly side. Now, that is the reason why this interview serves as a reminder for us to come back on the right track. Now, coming to the nationalism, there are different kinds of nationalism. There is civic nationalism, ethnic nationalism. Ethnic nationalism means only one ethnic group should be residing in a particular nation. Cultural nationalism, again, cultural nationalism is what is going on in India. Um, Only people of one religion, one culture should be residing in that country, and if there are any others, they should be treated as secondary citizens. Now, that kind of nationalism is going on. And then there is secular nationalism, where there is no place for any religion, where all citizens are treated equally. Now, there are different kinds of nationalism. Now, it is in this background we have to think again, what is actually going on. Are we heading in the right direction? That is a question we have to put forward and discuss and debate these issues. And another uh, concept that is discussed at length is communism. Now, this interview took place in uh, late 1950s, that is 59. This interview took place in 59. So during that time, Cold War was going on, and there was a lot of discussion about communism. In fact, in America, People had started hating uh, who believed in communism, and that is the age of McCarthyism, where sympathizers of Communist Party or people who were on the left were called names, and there was a witch hunt uh, was launched against them. Now, in this interview had taken in that background. Even today, if you see what is happening in America, what is happening in Brazil or Austria, Hungary, for example, India. So these are if you look what is happening, uh, the things that definitely are not moving in the right direction. So, and there is also, as I've said, communism. Many people don't really understand what communism is. Um, and also, some people get confused between communism and communalism. Communalism is a hatred for religion, whereas communism is a economic theory which believes in the ownership of the government. Actually, so it is an idea which developed after socialism. Socialism means um, state that is government owns the economy, whereas in communism the majority of the ownership is by the government. The main problem in any society is the class division. So in order to abolish the class division, the whole ownership is by the government. So the property is actually owned by everyone. But in capitalism, it is the market forces that control the economy. I'll show you a video which will make this idea more clear. Now here is the video which explains what communism is.
So we wanted to know what exactly is communism. Well, there are a number of overlapping philosophies and socioeconomic systems that can be described as communist in nature. But in the most basic sense, communism is when all manufacturing for means of production are equally owned by all groups in the state. The end result is to eliminate the capitalist-inspired system where one places on the market and the other gets all the money. Although similar ideas have existed both practically and traditionally since before its time, the most common form of communism comes from the work of German philosophers Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in what is today known as Marxism. In particular, Marxism is struck with the exploitation of workers. It's based on the idea that workers generally are 100% enslaved to business owners who are willing to pay them to support them. And using this phrase sounds a bit crazy, so USSR, China, Vietnam, and Cuba have attempted to institute communist rules. But what actually set the stage is predominantly socialist technology. The biggest difference between the two is that socialism says that all workers should get an equal share in profits and property, while communism says that they should enjoy limited ownership in general, and everyone can get as much as they need and work as much as they can. Unfortunately, it's also a genius political philosophy that has pronounced an improving trend of corruption, and in the case of the USSR, total collapse and failure. A number of reasons have been put forward as to why communism.
Now, I hope this has made clear what communism and socialism to you.